Good morning, how are we today? Oh, what a miserable day it is out there. I had to do a school run today because my son was running late. Oh, he just was not organised at all. Couldn't find his tracksuit trousers, or they're called joggers, sorry. Couldn't find his joggers. And then he was late, so I had to run him to school. I am so glad I don't have to do the school run every day because it is absolutely ridiculous. No one gives way. There's cars parked on both sides of the road. You get kind of a tiny, like, intermittent gaps, but no one wants to pull over, no one wants to give way. And I give way, and then like 10 cars come through and you think, oh, I've only given way to like 1 or 2. Oh, so anyway, I'm glad I haven't got to do that every day. It kind of stressed me out, you know. So Pilates, if you've got back problems or anything like that, Pilates is very good for helping with realignment and strengthening of the spine, okay? So hopefully you will feel the benefit of it, okay? Oh, I've got the volume on my phone, I can hear myself talk. Just hearing a noise in the background. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Jane. It's hot. It is cold. Yeah, I kind of just came in the morning, Marie. I just came in the lounge and thought, oh gosh, it's just feeling a bit chilly in here. I've got 2 radiators in here. If I get too warm though, I'm probably going to fall asleep. I'm really tired. Miss what I just said. Oh, I was just saying that I had to do school run, Nikki. That people's driving and people not giving way is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm so glad I don't have to do it every day. Pilates is good for the back. It will strengthen through your core. It's all floor-based exercises, all right? You've got your fire on. Oh, sure. I think if I put my fire on, my husband would probably tell me off. But that would be like really cozy. That would be lovely. I'd just get the fire, get my little furry blanket and just sit there and snuggle. That would be so good. I've got a little break between 10 o'clock, well, after this class finishes and my next class starts at 12. I've got a little break and I thought, oh, maybe I'll have a little snooze. I'm really tired today. I don't know why. I've not done... Oh, I say I've not done extra. I did do extra yesterday. I done an extra class, but only a class, nothing major. But I think everything catches up at some point, doesn't it? I think if you allow yourself to get tired, it's finding the way of kind of recovering from that tiredness. That's the awkward thing. And actually, literally, morning Anna, as I look ahead, I kind of think, oh, this week I'm working 7 days of the week. It's ridiculous. And so my next break is next weekend. So it's kind of, it seems a very long way off. Anyway, let's stop waffling. Let's do some work. Just set my watch. Work as hard as you feel you can. Rest whenever you need to. Please feel free to get a drink at any time. I'll stop and get a drink anyway because constant talking is going to dry my mouth out. I can't help it. I just talk all the time. I just do it. I'm my own company. Alright, so let's get in standing position and then let's get down to the floor to work. So stand nice and upright. Morning, Yvonne. Oh, it's this nice group this morning. You're all being very friendly. It's lovely. I love it actually because I think Jane and Nikki, you probably know each other outside the class, but otherwise we're all kind of, it just feels really nice. It just feels like we've got a nice little group together today. Anyway, toes and knees point forwards, shoulders down relaxed. Make sure that you are balanced and central, okay? It's going to be really strange when we all start seeing each other in the flesh again, isn't it? Good, making sure that you've got that neutral spine. So we're just tilting the pelvis forwards and backwards. We're finding the position where your back feels the most comfortable. It's referred to as your natural lordotic curve, your neutral spine. I will remind you all the way through. To the point you're probably going, yes, it's engaged, before I've even said it. Core muscles, pelvic floor, the muscle from within. So this is the one that you would use to stop mid-flow, okay? So thinking about that muscle as a lift, 10 floors. I want you to draw that muscle up from within. It is quite difficult to keep it all the way up, but you wouldn't be able to maintain it for long. So you're going to take it down to the 5th floor, and then down to the 3rd floor, and that's where we're going to leave it. So we can feel we're drawing up a little bit, but not too much. We can maintain it, that's important. Then imagine you've got a belt around your middle. Yes, Nikki, go Team Shelley, I love it. I think we all need to get like a Shelley Squad t-shirt or something. Imagine a belt around your middle, 10 notches. Pull it into notch number 10. take it out to notch 5, out to notch 3, and leave it. So you've got this tightened feeling, like you're holding in like a tight pair of jeans or a little corset round the centre of the body. Okay? So keeping the core muscles engaged, keeping the neutral spine in place, we breathe from our rib cage. Okay? Hands on the ribs, fingertips touch. Take a deep breath in and release. So my hands naturally part. I'm not moving my hands, I'm just breathing from the ribs and release. Relax the arms down. So warming up the body a little bit, just mobilising through the body, ready to work. Begin to pedal through your feet. Allow your shoulders to rotate one way and then the other. Lovely. Lift up onto the toes, lengthen the body, lift up from the rib cage, all the way up. Lift and lengthen. Well done. One more time. Lift and lengthen. Good. And we're going to step out and reach up and over, and then step out the other side. So that arm comes up and across. So we're lifting out of the rib cage. We're lengthening through the inner thigh. If you've done legs, bumps and tumps yesterday with the gliders, how are those legs feeling today? Mine not too bad. It's my core that really gets me with the gliders. Good. Take one more each side, please. Lovely. And then we're holding it in the centre, allowing our hips to rotate one way, excuse me, and the other. Holding the hips in place, bringing the arms up, take a breath in. As you breathe out, I'd like you to rotate, lengthen the arm, and follow the hand. Breathe out, rotate, breathe in, return. Breathe out, rotate, breathe in, return. So we're opening up through the chest, but we've also got this mobility through the back, spinal rotation. We're keeping the hips set and still. We're going to do one more to each side, please. Good. And then release the arms. Taking a lunge forward on that left leg, drop that back knee, and then bring yourself back in. So we're just stepping forward, little lunge down, so that back knee is coming down, only as far as comfortable for you. Good. Do one more with each leg. Lovely. And then holding it in the middle, I want you to take that leg forward, circle it round, lift that knee up. Toe comes forward, circle it round, lift the knee up. Only make the circle the size you can control, and only lift up as far as comfortable. Holding it lifted this time, ankle goes one way and the other. And then we place the foot down. Other leg comes forward, point the toe, circle round, lift the knee and balance. You may find your balance is better on one side than the other. That often happens, quite natural. But we can encourage that unbalanced side to work a little bit harder with Pilates, because it is kind of all about the whole body, symmetrically what you can do on one side you can do on the other. Hold it up, ankle goes one way and the other. Lovely, placing that foot down. So we're standing towards the back of the mat or whatever you're laying on. Breathe in, tuck the chin into the chest, gently roll down. Soften your knees, allow your arms to hang and relax, and then when you're ready, you're going to begin to gently roll up. You've made me remember like my childhood, Jane, talking about your fire. So I remember visiting my grandparents. They used to live in Yoxford, in the middle of nowhere in Yoxford. Good, gently rolling up, and every time you go, there would be this lovely big open fire and the cracking of the logs, and we'd all sit around the fire. Anyway, that's took me back a few years. Good, so we're going to gently roll down, and at our lowest point, I would like you to walk your hands forward. Try and keep your feet down flat. Now in this downward dog position, if you've got dodgy blood pressure, you may be better to come down into the cat stretch. And all you're going to do literally is breathe in and tilt, and breathe out and release. So you're arching your back, okay, so cat stretch. If you're here with me, I want you to walk your hands forwards, so you're into a bigger plank position, and then carefully walk back and press the feet back down. So you're allowing the heels to raise, and then you're walking back so the hands go, so the heels go flat down. Otherwise, you're in that cat stretch, arching and releasing through your back. Good. So I'm going to ask you to do one more of either the cat or this moving downward dog. And then gently place those knees down. Coming into box position, make sure that your legs are hips distance apart because they're going to help to stabilise and balance you, okay? Wrists, elbows under the shoulder. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lengthen one leg, push it all the way back, and then breathe in and pull it in. So we start at this basic level, and then we'll add on in a moment. We're making sure we're breathing out as we push away, breathing in as we pull it in. Making sure the hips stay central, nothing else is moving. This time, breathe out, lengthen and raise. Breathe in, lower and draw it back under. So as you push the leg away, you're lengthening through the core muscles. Then we're asking our back to help us lift that leg and get it into place. Now, I'm going to add on another movement here. You can stay with this though if you prefer. Breathe out, lengthen and raise. Breathe in, bend. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, lower and draw it back in. So we're adding on a little leg curl. That is going to work through the back of your thigh, through the hamstring and the glutes. Remember, toe touches down at its furthest point and then you bring it in. Breathe out to lengthen, raise, bend, lengthen, lower. Control that movement. If you want to slide the opposite hand out as well, you can. And then if you want to go further still, you can raise the opposite arm at the same time as the leg. Fingers and toes touch down and draw back in. So we've got a swimming with a leg curl. Good. So we'll do one more on each leg. Whoop. That's exactly why my hand is supposed to be down, because I'll fall over. You're going to do one more on each side, please. Whoops. I'm wrecking the joint this morning. When you've done those two, I'll rub the water in. I've got a little clean spot now. Good. Then you're going to come down onto your forearms and elbows. We're going to come into hip drop, okay? So we start in a base level 1 leg pull. So we're just drawing up the pelvis, but our knees are on the floor. You're going to look down between your wrists, breathe in. As you breathe out, lower the hip to one side. Breathe in, bring it in. Breathe out, lower it to the other side. Breathe in, breathe it in. So we're allowing our hip to drop down. Always coming back to that central position. If you want to go further, toes down, knees come up. Now, work with your breathing. You breathe out to lower, breathe in, reset, breathe out. So what I don't want you to do is just go side, 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 side. I want you to go side, center, side, center. Breathe deep, full breaths. Your movement is controlled by the rhythm of your breathing. So Pilates is best done slowly. So your breathing should be full and deep, allowing your movements to be slow and controlled. I'm going to ask you in your hip drop, drawing up through the belly button, through the core, for one more to each side, please. And once you finish those, I'm going to ask you to come back up into that swimming position. Now, we're going to do the leg curl, but we're going to focus on one leg only, okay? So when you're ready, breathe in. As you breathe out, lengthen and raise. Breathe in, bend. Breathe out, lengthen. We're not going to bring it under, we're just going to take it down. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in, bend. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, lower. So you can have that arm coming up at the same time as the leg. Keep the body weight central, getting that knee up in line with the bottom. Taking it toe back down to its furthest point. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in. We're going to do one more with this leg, please. Then fingers and toes down, draw it in. Other leg, breathe out, lengthen, lift. Breathe in, bend. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, lower. So I haven't added my arm yet because I need to make sure that my movement is controlled, that I'm balancing, that my core muscles are in place. And if I'm happy with all of that, if I can say yes, yes, I'm breathing properly, my back's neutral, my core's engaged, then I can make the decision. Do I just want that arm out, or do I want to raise it at the same time as the leg? So leg on its own is your level 1. Leg plus arm extended but down is level 2. And then your level 3 here, opposite arm comes up. Oh, my balance is shot today. I'm going to ask you to do 2 more with this leg, please. So it's a 1 leg curl. Once you've done those last ones, fingers and toes touch down, draw it back in. So coming back to leg pull, so bottom comes down, holding the position. Knees down, level 1. Knees up, level 2. If you want level 3, we're coming back to where we started, up on the hands. Don't let the head drop. Head and neck in line with the spine. It literally should feel like I'm putting my hand through your back and drawing your belly button up towards the ceiling. So you should have tightening, tension all around the centre of the body. If you begin to shake or wobble, it's muscle fatigue. So take a little rest and then join back in when you can. Pulling up and in. You can use whichever level you like. And you can change your level at any time. So if it gets too much, just take it down a level. If you feel you can take it up again for a couple of breaths, do that. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more breaths. And then you're going to gently lower all the way down. Bring the arms out to this capital E position. So your elbow is in line with your shoulder. Let's touch the big toes together. And try not to squeeze the bottom, legs stay down. Just looking at that, my bottom looks like that Teletubby mould that they used to have. If you think about the programme Teletubbies, and they've just got this big lump in the middle. That's exactly what it looks like. Okay, don't move your neck, okay? The movement is going to come from the back. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, peel the chest up. As you breathe in, gently lower. Obviously don't drop because you'll hurt your nose. Breathe out as you peel up. Breathe in as you carefully release. Keeping the legs down, keeping the bottom relaxed. Now you're only coming up as far as it feels comfortable for you, okay? If you do want to go further, breathe in, hold at your highest point, and then breathe out to come up further. My forearms, my elbows have come off the floor. But as I breathe in and lower, my arms gently release as well. Breathe out, lift. If you're coming higher, breathe in, hold. Then breathe out, come up further. So you've got 2 separate lifts. You've got those core muscles in place. Deep, full breaths from the rib cage. It doesn't matter how high you're coming up, okay? This is the Swan Dive. It's all about strength and mobility for your back. But make sure you're not moving that neck. Look down all the time, okay? Don't lift the legs. Belly button is drawn up. You're coming up higher, lovely, but control the lower. And I'm going to ask you, please, in Swan Dive at your level for one more repetition. When you finish that one, you can relax the arms and you're gently going to turn over onto one side. And we're going to prop ourselves up. So the elbow is underneath the shoulder, not right over there. Yeah, so it's underneath the shoulder. Legs are bent and my rib cage is drawn up. So we've got this open space underneath the body. I'm going to bring this hand, fingertip to the temple. I'm going to rotate. We're currently in a side bend position. So as long as your rib cage is raised, you are working even just staying here. Okay? So if you don't want to rotate, stay here. Breathe in. As you breathe out, rotate forwards and down. Then breathe in and come all the way back up. It is a smooth, controlled movement going as far as comfortable for you. If you want to go further, bring the hip up, breathe out, rotate, breathe in, return. If you want to go further, legs come out straight. Breathe out, rotate, breathe in, return. Remember to come all the way back up and open the chest. So you've got just staying here, base level, hip down, rib cage up, with the rotation level 2, with the hip raised to level 3, and then level 4 with the legs out straight. I'm going to ask just for one more, please. Once you've completed that, gently lower yourself down, all the way down onto your side. Now, we should be in a nice straight line. My mat is slightly angled, okay? So I am straight, but I might not look it. Okay. Looking straight ahead, your head is resting down on your arm. Legs are lengthened, hips, knees, ankles all stacked one on top of the other. And we've got this hand to stop us from rolling forwards or back. Okay, so breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs up. As soon as those legs came up, the obliques, your waist, started to work. Okay? So even if you don't move anywhere, you are working here, okay? But if you can, we will go just with a top leg raise. Breathe in. As you breathe out, lift the top leg. As you breathe in, gently lower it. Breathe out, lift the top leg. Breathe in, lower it. Hand is there for balance, but you may be able to take it away. Making sure that you're not rolling forwards or back. Hold breath out to lift the leg. Hold breath in to lower. If you want to go further, arm can come over. So we're not lifting higher to make it harder. We're just taking away that point of balance. And then your final option, arm and leg will come up together. Working through the side of the body, through the waist. You're also working around the hip and the bottom. And if you've added the arm, you've got that mobility around your shoulder. Keep those toes pointing away. Lengthen that body all the way out. Bottom leg is lifted and still. And I'm going to ask you for 2 more repetitions here, please. Once you've completed those 2, bring the arm back down. Allow those legs to lower. Good. Okay, so the hand that's in front of you, that's going to stay in front of you. The arm that your head is resting on is going to come underneath you and hold onto your rib cage. So my long arm is now here. This other arm stays in front. So we're going to breathe in, and as we breathe out, we're going to push up with that hand, and as we breathe in, we lower. Breathe out, push up, breathe in, lower. Now this target area is your tricep, okay? Even if you only get to there, that is fine. Now, if you want to work harder here, you take the hand further down the body. You see? I've taken my hand further down and it becomes 10 times harder. Keep those legs down, keep the body strong. Breathing out as you lift. Try and keep the neck in line with the body and in as you lower. Also try not to roll forward. I've just noticed that I've rolled a little bit, so correct that. So working through the tricep, the back of the arm, bye-bye bingo wings. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more. Don't allow the head to move independently. Keep it in line with the body. And when you've done those 2, you can release and then push yourself to sit. You might just need to roll those shoulders out. And if that wasn't enough, we're going to work the tricep again now. Oh, that water tastes lovely today. Good. Hands are coming backwards, your fingers point towards your bottom, okay? Now, if you cannot lift up, your option is just to push back and hold. Breathe and hold, yeah? Otherwise, you're going to gently bring that bottom up and hold it still. Don't let the head drop down. So we're working through the back of the arm, through the tricep. If you want to go further, you're going to lengthen your legs, but don't drop the pelvis. Hold and breathe. Strengthen through the core, the lumbar spine, because they're keeping that bottom up off the floor. We just breathe and hold. Try and get that bottom up as far as you can, okay? All I want you to do is 3 more deep, full breaths. Don't hang the head. Head and neck in line. When you've done your 3, you can gently lower. And again, give those shoulders a little roll out if you need to. We're going to stay in this seated position. We're going to bring our legs out straight. We're lengthening the back, chin is up off the chest. We're going to breathe in and tilt the pelvis under and just lift one leg up. And the toes point away. And we're going to stay here and hold, okay? If you want to go further, you're going to bring the other leg up. Now we've got that tailbone tucked under. If you need to, you can always have your hands there for a little bit of support. If you can though, breathe in. As you breathe out, start to circle. As you breathe out, you're continuing to complete a rotation. Breathe out to lift and circle. Breathe in to lower and return. Goes round one way and the other. If you've only got one leg raised, allow that leg to lower and change legs. So if you've only got one leg lifted, you're just holding it still. So this is the corkscrew. Strength, mobility from the back and a lot of strength from the core, okay? Keeping both sides of the bottom down. Only moving them if you've got both legs lifted. And I'm going to ask you please for 3 more breaths. Oh yeah. Once you've completed those 3, feet come down, gently roll yourself back up. So we're going to come down onto our back. Legs bend, feet down. Make sure you're in neutral. So tilt the pelvis a couple of times if you need to. Just find the position where your back feels the most comfortable, okay? Are your core muscles engaged? We're going to start with 100 and we're going to build up those levels as we go. So we're going to breathe in. As we breathe out, we lift our right leg up into a right angle. Knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with the knee. So we've got this right angle. Now our other leg, our left leg, that knee stays absolutely still. This is level 1, okay? The 100 at level 1. Now if you want to go further, today your option is to lengthen it out and keep it there. So it's gone out diagonally, toes pulled away. Try and have your knees parallel, okay? And again, that other leg stays nice and still. Your next option, so we're layering these in, take them or leave them guys, absolutely fine. Breathe in, as you breathe out, bring up the upper body, breathe in, breathe out, push down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in, breathe out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to give you one more slightly easier option, and that is to pulse with a bent leg, okay? So you've got that leg either out or in. If you want to go further, Left leg comes up, keep it in a right angle. Breathe in. Breathe out. So that exhale is long enough for at least 5 little pushes down with the hands. That other leg doesn't have to be up, remember? And this leg doesn't even need to be bent. I'm going to ask you for 2 more breaths. Sorry, my mouth is so dry. I woke up with a sore throat, but I just figured it was from where I was shouting in class yesterday. When you've done those 2, head, neck come down, leg comes back to bend, and then allow the foot to lower. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the other leg. You have to start at the beginning. There's no point just coming up and lengthening that leg straight away. You've got to make sure that as you go through the levels, everything goes with you. The core engagement, the neutral spine, the breathing. It's like a jigsaw puzzle. You've got to have all the pieces. If you want to go further, breathe in. As you breathe out, lengthen. Knees parallel, core engaged. Bringing the shoulders up if you want to go further still. Palms face down. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Breathe in. Breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you could keep that leg bent if you prefer. So your very first option is leg up, nothing else. Next option, you can add the pulse with the bent leg, or hold it out straight, or add the pulse. But if you want to go further as hard as you can, then that right leg comes back up into right angle. Chin off the chest, deep 4 breaths. Control the movement. I'm going to ask you, please, sounds like I'm trying to blow up a balloon. For 2 more breaths, if you've got the right leg up that's coming down, upper body will lower, leg will come back to bent, and then replace. We're going to come into scissor. Now scissor is one of those exercises that I always have a little bit of a bugbear about, because people move their knee. Your knee has to stay still, okay? Breathe in, breathe out, lift the right leg. Now you've got this right angle behind the knee, and you must keep it in place. So you're going to breathe in. As you breathe out, touch the foot down. Breathe in and lift. Right angle stays in that leg even when it moves. Your movement is coming from the top of the leg through the hip flexor. If you want to go further, raise the other leg as well. Breathe out to lower, in to lift. Next option, guys, if you've got both legs lifted, is to alternate one leg to the other. If you've only got one leg lifted, just stay on that leg, okay? If you're doing both legs together, your next option, as one comes up, the other one goes down. Maintain the angle in the knee. So if you have got just this one leg going, I'm going to ask you to replace that foot down. Breathe in, breathe out, lift the other leg to right angle. Breathe in, breathe out, lower, breathe in, lift. Maintaining, it's vital, maintaining the angle behind the knee. Next option would be to have both legs lifted but still only moving that one leg. And then your next option, alternate. Your final option, you are alternating, but it's a slightly quick. I don't want you to go really fast. It's got to be controlled, yeah? But they do switch mid-air. And those knees stay in place. Breathe out to lower, breathe in, return. And I'm going to ask you, please, whichever level you've chosen, for 2 more breaths. Then you can allow those legs one at a time to come down. And please feel free to give yourself a nice long body stretch. When you're ready from there, we're coming over onto our side and we're propping ourselves up first. We've got the side bend with that oblique rotation. elbow under the shoulder, hoist up your rib cage. Remember guys, you can stay here. You don't have to add anything else. You're already working, as long as the rib cage is lifted, already working through the obliques, the waist. Otherwise, we're going to add that movement. Breathe in. As you breathe out, rotate forwards and down. Breathe in, come back up. That's what I needed. I've just cracked my back. It felt really good. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in and lift. If you want to go further, raise up the hip. Breathe out, rotate. Breathe in, return. Open the chest. Further still would be to take the legs out straight. Breathe out as you rotate. Breathe in as you return. Core muscles zipped up and pulled in. Remember, you can keep the hip down, level 1. Have that hip up to go further, or legs out straight. Just 2 more rotations, please. 2 more repetitions. Once you've completed those 2, you can gently release and lower all the way down onto your side. Lengthen out the body into a nice long line. Just making sure I'm not going to hit my foot on my desk. Head is down on the arm. Hand is there for your balance, guys. Core muscles and neutral spine tightened and in place. Breathe in. As you breathe out, raise both legs without rolling forwards or backwards. Hand is there, as I said, for balance. We are going to move the top leg. Breathe in. Breathe out, lift. Breathe in to return. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to return. Toes are pulled away. The bottom leg is lifted but remains still. Any issues, you could take the bottom leg down if you really needed to. You can always take that supporting hand away. You could then bring the arm over. And then final option, bring the arm up, just fingers points to the ceiling, and then come back down. Do not rush your movement. Control it with your breathing. Full deep breaths. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to lower. So side leg raise, working through the obliques, mobilizing the shoulder if you're moving that arm, but also working around the side of the leg, around the hamstrings and the glutes. I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions. Once you've done the 2, take the arm back down, allow those legs to lower. This is the last one, this is your tricep, okay? So, that hand stays in front. The arm, the head is on, comes through onto the rib cage. Don't let the head drop down, keep it in line with the body. Breathe in, as you breathe out, lift up. As you breathe in, lower down. Oh my goodness, this side is a lot weaker than the other side. Keep those legs out straight. Try not to roll that body as you lift. Breathe out to raise. Breathe in to lower. Now the further down the body, see I can't even lift up. The further down the body that hand is, the harder you're going to work, okay? Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. It's quite a tricky one, but once you get there, it will benefit you. Don't drop that head. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to release. And in your tricep press, I'm going to ask you please for 2 more repetitions. Once you've done your 2, you can relax that, give that shoulder a little roll back if you'd like to. From here, bring yourself round to all fours. And straight away I want you to just push yourself back so you're into your child's pose. That's going to stretch you around the glutes and around the shoulders. So arms are extended. Well done. Coming back up into box position. Breathe in round the spine, tuck the chin to the chest. Breathe out and release. So a little cat stretch before we make our way to stand. We'll do one more of those. Now if you need to hold on to something to help you stand, that is absolutely fine, guys, alright? Well done. So from here, you're going to bring your hands towards your knees, you're going to curl the toes under, burn your bottom on the radiator, tuck the chin into the chest, place the feet down. In your own time, guys, you are slowly rolling up through the back, rebuilding the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And as you reach the top, relax the shoulders down. So we need to make sure that we stay in this nice lengthened position throughout the day. Keep asking yourself, is my neutral spine in place? Is your back comfortable? Make sure you haven't slouched, you're not leaning to one side. Then also ask yourself, are my core muscles engaged? Just that gentle pull up and tightening around the centre of the body. Lift up onto your toes, can you balance? Good core strength helps you to balance, guys. Lift up, balance. Even like if you're stuck at the sink, we don't have dishwashers, so I wash up all the time. So when I'm standing washing up, I'll often just pull up and release through my pelvic floor, just to help strengthen it. Lift up, stay here, balance. Can you close your eyes? And balance, don't just close your eyes. And release. Well done. So that is your Pilates for today. It's so lovely that you've all joined in the chat this morning, and we love it when we all get talking together. It's great. Really lifts the mood as well. So that's your Pilates, that's done. I'm trying to work out if I've got a brown, no it's not. I thought there was a brown lump by the door waiting to get in, but it's the shadow or something else. We are back at 12 o'clock with your low impact conditioning. So there's no jumping about in that one. And then 4 o'clock, if you do want to bounce around and go crazy, you've got the HIIT session. So that's it. You are welcome, Jane. Lovely to see you. So I will see you again at 12 o'clock if you want to join me then. Thanks, Nikki. Have a lovely day, won't you guys? Try and stay positive, even though it's dreary outside. Take care, and we'll see you soon.